welcome Jeff and Mindy. Mindy Blackstein and Jeff Capel of the Fame Network, the FameCoin, and all kinds of things that aren't infamous, but good. Now, I've known you for a handful of years, but I've just had the chance to always be inspired by your works.
Thank you.
And, I just introduced myself here. I'm Hilton Milan, here for the Divine Dude Show. And this segment is something we're working with. I'd like to say divining with. And it's basically, I like to think of it as Angel's Den. And I feel like I have some angels here with me doing angels work. And for any of you other angels out there that would like to vest with us and with these young people, then contact me at hilton@thatchannel.com. Again, many thanks to our gracious host, thatchannel.com. Watch out for even more goodness. And let's see. It's an honor to be here. Namaste, everyone. And now for you guys. Mindy, let me ask you to start.
All right.
Tell us about yourselves and how you got here.
Wow, that's a big question. About ourselves. Well, we were in the fitness industry.
Yes.
We had put on a world tour of events.
Yes.
That led into magazines, expos, TV shows, and basically we were providing a platform for individuals to train naturally.
Yes.
And to transform themselves, specifically on their physical appearance, and to have that platform to showcase themselves, celebrate themselves, and be proud of their accomplishments.
You said train naturally.
Train naturally, without the use of performance-enhancing substances.
So ordinary people.
Ordinary people, yes.
Wow. Go on. Yeah.
Prior to that, there wasn't really the opportunity that they had because a platform that we provided wasn't really available, at least in Canada. So we started that. And then as this was all going on and it was building up momentum, people were becoming stars, getting on the covers of magazines, the industry was just growing. It became like a niche industry within itself. We stopped and we said, wait, there's something that actually doesn't feel right for us, a bunch of things, and we had to course correct. We felt like what was our passion project no longer was our passion because there were things that we enabled that we didn't expect would be enabled and things that we saw that we didn't expect. So we spent 10 years figuring out how to course correct. And that's what we're coming back with now.
Wow, so there's actually, the growing pains of really learning how to lead, serve, manifest, natural wellness and health and empowered health for individuals. And now through, I understand a bit, you're creating an online portal, an ecosystem for health fitness, for any individual that wants to just get online, almost as a gamer. And even gamify, their development of their even their little, their development of their self, their best self.
Well, that's exactly it. We realized that it wasn't just physical appearance that was important to give somebody happiness or bring them confidence. It's more than that. It's the body, mind, heart, spirit. It's how you think. It's what you say. It's what you do. And all of that has to come into play. We realized if to have a regular person become a role model, it's not just about appearance. It's about the way they think. It's about their emotional health, their spiritual health, their mental health, and their physical health. Because oftentimes we found that to sculpt one's appearance, it didn't have to be done, and they didn't have to do it in a healthful way. And these are all things that we realized needed to be course corrected because as an image of a role model that society's looking up to, it's a complete person. They have to lead with the mental, emotional, spiritual, as well as the physical.
It seems that, strong mind, strong body. Sometimes we have to start with strong body, but whatever gifts we're given, I think I'm a very late bloomer. I had no idea of having a real strong body, but I did have a strong mind.
Yeah.
And, and at the same time, just using the mind, and not having it integrated, with with the heart, and then in my case, all the physicality and the heart, the emotions, and the body, and having no place to go for that type of exemplary community. But now in this online ecosystem, I think it's the first, and it's almost like fitness, Facebook, where that's just the beginning, though. Can you tell us more?
Sure. So there's an online platform. It's an ecosystem where everyone's invited to participate. You have the people who want to be inspired, who want to do something, make something more of their lives, or they want to be more happy, they want to be more healthy, or they just want to feel like they have direction, they want to aim towards their dreams, they express their talents, their creativity. And so there's those people. Then you have the next set of people who have already focused on themselves, who are already like on their pathway, on their journey, and they've got a message to share. They want to showcase their transformation, whether it's physical or it's an aha that they had, or something that can inspire people to learn from that and take it on themselves.
Yeah, so they're abundant, overflowing now with their health, and now the best way to really own it is to give it away to others, while one is embodying it and being an example of it.
Yeah, and it's a passion for them too, because
Yes.
it had such an impact on their life. It was one of those things that you just, when you feel so happy about something that you discovered and you want more people to discover it. So that's kind of what this ecosystem is about, that people can gravitate to those who had similar obstacles or challenges or calamities or whatever, and focus on them to see how they solved it mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically.
Mm-hmm. So this natural health can be a movement in the sense of every citizen of humanity, man, woman, child.
Well, that's where it started. We started this with, people can envision what, that bodybuilder looks like at the gym. And you think of someone...
Or a superhero.
Or a superhero, so take it to that. And they're full of confidence and pride in what they've accomplished. And they know all the information. If you walked up to one of these, athletes, superheroes, and you said, what should I eat? What should I drink? What should I do to train? They'll tell you, because you think that they know the information.
Yes.
And sometimes they think they know.
And sometimes they do.
Mm-hmm.
What we found, though, is most often people don't. That people know the parts that are going to help them ensure that the outward appearance of their body looks good. Oh, if I go to the gym and I do this and I work on biceps, I'm going to bring this up, and I do this, I'm going to do this, and I take this supplement, it's going to help me with this, and I take this. It goes a lot deeper than that. And what we looked at, and we said, there's a market here of people who are obviously moving themselves forward in life. They're transforming, they're at the gym, they're working out, they're walking down the streets in their t-shirts, they're inspiring people. But where does that go?
Yes.
And those individuals who said, I want to get in the magazines, I want on TV, I want to, compete, there was nowhere for them to go here in Canada. So we said, let's create something. Let's create a movement where people can stop using drugs to enhance their physique.
Mm-hmm.
They could have a platform that they could step up on that stage, use that stage as a goal. So when you were saying this is for like anybody, anybody who says, I want to transform, people typically, not always, but typically need some kind of incentive to get there. So if you say, well, I want to transform, I got to lose 60 pounds. Well, what have you done to accomplish that? Well, for the last 25 years, I've been losing the same 60 pounds and I keep going up. Well, what if you set a goal to step up on that stage in like 12 months from now? I don't know if I could do that. But what if you focused on it and you had the right plan and system and support? Do you think you could do it? Yeah, I could do that. And you see regular, everyday people transform into their superhero. They become superstars, and they use the stage and they set the goal and say, okay, I'm going to do that. And now they start, even though they don't realize it, they start layering some of the other side beyond the physical. They start visualizing. And they start, I can see what I could look like if I go through that process. And we provide that platform. And because it inspired so many people to see that they can do it, regular, everyday people, it turned into a tour that dominated the Canadian market and expanded around the world, turned into television shows and expos and magazines, all on that the message of you can transform and this is what you can do to change and to inspire other people through that process. But what we learned, though, is that even though they look amazing on stage or in the magazines or on TV or they themselves know it, what's behind that doesn't always match. That you have individuals that you would think are full of confidence and full of pride that actually aren't. Because when you're dealing in a sport, especially in a competitive sport, that's all about your body, that's very, very different than somebody assessing, something that's external to you. That's your body. So oftentimes we found that people value their self-worth based on what happened at the event, on stages, what they heard from judges, or their own perception of things.
And when we realized that, at that point we thought, wait, something has to change, because this is like people's lives. And if they're coming here feeling one way and by going through this they're leaving less happy or less confident or more insecure, then something has to be done. We have to do something to shift that.
In addition to that, and this again, most people would never think of this, but what are you putting into your body? Let's leave the mind part for a second. Let's just look at the physical part. What food are you putting in your body? What nutrition are you putting into your body? Most people walk into a regular nutrition store and they think, well, because I'm in a nutrition store, it all must be good, right? And what we started to discover is just because there's a big marketing budget, just because there's ads, just because there's sponsored athletes, just because that product is out there, doesn't mean that it's what you should be putting inside. And instead of taking everything at face value, we started to go a little bit deeper and started to realize that there's a lot of things that need to be changed in this industry. If we're going to ensure that this is about being fit, healthful, and whole, changes have to happen. From the way that brands and products engage with the consumer market, the way that people transform themselves, where they typically stop at the body, they've got to go deeper. People typically transform themselves long enough to get the results that they want, and then they've got that result, and then they stop. And a lot of times it's because they've accomplished that physical end. They could see that. Yeah. They've got to go deeper, and that's where we're so focused now, is come in from the mental health side of it. Come in from the emotional, the spiritual, start layering that. And if you could take individuals, regular everyday people, who can say, I'm going to set a goal and I can visualize what I could look like. And if I could visualize it, I could be there and I could set a plan and go on that course.
You're talking about me. I need to do that. And sort of like, whoa, I've never really taken on transforming this thing.
Well, now do that.
And I never thought about it really. I sort of just had it as a fantasy, but I didn't have it really as a goal. And for the first time, listening to your program and how it works and what you've already accomplished, and you're saying, no, that wasn't good enough. We're going to make it better. But I'm just happy on this new milestone that I can just envision, even blindly. I can envision this body, chiseled and, and stronger, and calves, have real calves for, and I've never invested myself in that or even believed that I could be. But now I'm inspired that I hear that so many other people have. And there's just processes, so I could be supported, so that and as long as I'm disciplined. But I actually have a goal right now. It's like, wow, not bad. So we'll see. I've got a birthday coming up, and certainly over the months, if not over the years, I can't wait to be a full customer of your platform. Tell me more. Just go on.
That is awesome, because now when you go through it, you've got the healthful pathways. Yeah. You've got the support of the community. You've got other people who are doing what you want to do or who have already done what you want to do.
That's so unimaginable, but so great.
And the biggest part, so we spent, so when we ran the events, people were excited. Those who really wanted to transform and share that message, they were excited about the opportunity to be on posters or in magazines or on television shows and things of that nature. So in our course correction period, so we spent about 10 years now looking in the industry, saying, okay, what could be changed, what could be fixed, and borrowing from the empowerment space and networking space and other areas to see, okay, what is the way to incentivize people further and do it in such a way where everyone sees there's transparency and it's an even playing field for everyone. So we
Incentivize and reward, yes?
Right.
incentivize, reward, and provide that equal playing field.
Nicely reward. Like VIP, like all out, so people feel really special and accomplished, and they're really celebrating what they did.
So what we did is we leveraged the latest innovations in technology, you know, things like blockchain to ensure that it's an open, transparent network.
Yes.
Using things in a loyalty rewards program, using coins where people can interact for goods and services.
And maybe a membership model.
Membership model where people can be part of this whole community. That's free for anybody,
Yes.
with different options based on things that are unique to you. If you, for example, want to learn how to get better at meditating,
Yes.
well, then there'll be options for you to be able to do that. But you're going to have a different pathway than what Mindy would have, or what I would have, or anyone would have. So it's sort of letting everybody play how they want to. You know, it's up to them how they want to interact based on where they're coming from and where they're headed.
And the big fame is not out there, it's actually within, in terms of whatever the ideals we maybe fantasized or imagined. But now if we actually take it from the fantasy and dare to imagine it as our image, that we can take where we are, maybe wherever we've been, to what we imagined into being, and then work towards that with the support of the challenge and the inspiration and the support of a community.
Exactly. You know what? There's three main ways that people participate, and it's all about how that fame is portrayed to them. There's a set of people that are playing for that inner fame.
Yeah.
To feel great, like you talked about. You know, how can I transform myself and have that greatness filled within me, that inner fame? That's all self-care. There's a different set of people that are playing for that personal fame, that they've already achieved that element or aspects of it, and they want to share that with others. And then obviously there's the professional fame, those who have a product, a brand, something that they've created, that they're passionately, you know, out there wanting to share, that gives them an ability for that too. So everyone gets to play in this sort of sandbox based on where they're coming from, incentivized, again, based on what their goals are, so that they're all in the same place where we're operating as this unified front, sharing information, inspiration, and insight to empower and engage. And it hits on every level of it.
And the goal is 100 million body proud moments. 100 million ahas. So as a community, for everyone supporting each other and reflecting on one another's ahas, we
Yes.
just expect for so much good to come out of it. For a lot of people to be a lot more happy going through it than when they first started.
Can I be one of your spokespersons, ambassadors for the first 100 million people?
Well,
Aren't you?
well, you know what the beauty of this is that you can, and anyone can.
Perfect.
What we've said is
Yes.
everyone's on the same playing field.
Yes,
When everyone
exactly.
starts, everyone's the same.
Yes.
But Hilton, you go through and you start transforming, and you recognize things about yourself, and you want to share that with others because you get that feel, and you start inspiring other people. And as you're doing that, you're earning points because you're inspiring other people.
You know,
And
I've
as
never
you're
really
doing that-
been proud of this, sort of basic body, because I just never invested anything in it to actually develop it, worked with it. I just used it, so I feel like I haven't loved it or cared for it enough, and working on correcting my ways. So, this is just so inspiring, and I really want to commend you both for what I am feeling and hearing as the unstoppable integrity, for all of the people involved with you, the gamers, just playing the game of their life, the famers having achieved and now overflowing so abundantly that they're ready to give back. And then for the brands, the organizations that have come together with investors, with inventor and ideas that actually have the integrity of really serving the consumer, the client, the public, their constituency, And bringing forth all of that integrated integrity is, it's sort of like a dream come true, at least for me, and seeing that in the potential of not only a world class, but a world engaging value that is precious to every single human being on the planet as soon as is willing to start taking responsibility for their own bodies and well-being. But this is sort of the temple that houses the emotions, the mental, the spiritual, the mind.
Yeah.
So I feel this is so inaugural in terms of this new movement of, being body proud.
Thank you. You know, the one of the biggest separators that on this is that it's focused based on experiences that people are having. It's the focus shifts away from a dollar incentivization as to these dollars that I'm giving you are going to make my product be the sponsor or put in the hands of this person, this person. It's based on true experiences, so that if you've got a great product or service or philosophy, it should be able to stand on its own merits, not supported by a marketing campaign to say why it's so good. And if it does, great, the community is going to react with that. And as the community reacts with that, everyone benefits from it because we're putting the right message out into the marketplace.
Well, when the good comes out like this, there's got to be a fabulous value exchange where you're giving that out. How are you going to be able to receive money? Is there a membership or a free, and then there'll be other services, and just a couple of components there.
There's obviously memberships. People can be part of this community. That's open for everybody.
Yeah.
But based on what your specific goals and what you're looking to get out of it on your journey, there'll be different options. Whether you want to learn more about meditation or self-care, or you want to learn coaching, or whatever it is, there'll be that opportunity for you. So those will have, a cost associated to it. However, we've done something very different. We want this open to anybody, regardless of their financial position or where they are in life. So if someone doesn't have the funds today to buy product ABC or do something, they can earn it. When people inspire other people or take actions
just by
for
their
themselves,
good deeds for themselves,
their
their
good
own
deeds.
self-care and self-respect.
they're earning points, and those points are converted into coin, and coin is transacted for goods and services and experiences and opportunities within the community. So this is open for everybody. If you started today and said, you know what, I need to take this training course and that costs $1,000, I don't have $1,000, well, I'm going to start today and I'm going to start sharing my ahas and my breakthroughs, and I'm going to engage with other people, and I'm going to earn points so that I can take that course. So if someone is willing to make that that sacrifice to change and truly go through it, we're saying everything's open to you.
Oh my gosh, it sounds like the health exchange. You're giving and so like coming back, and it's like, and it's one that everyone can participate in. Beautiful. So to launch this now, you've got an imminent start coming up. You're ready now. So now it's just time for a few more angel investors. So angel investors or angels, listen up. This is where you can tune in, and there'll be opportunities, at least for a limited time at one level, to actually see this launch. I think you're looking to raise $450,000 or $500,000 US.
That's right. Look, we're looking to raise $450,000 US to push this forward.
What will that actually deliver? What are a few of the things?
That will get everything in motion. It brings us all the logistics that are required, the team that's required, and the actual marketing that's needed to be done to put an ICO into play and get the right message out there into the marketplace.
Okay. And then this potentially can support, not potentially, easily can support 100 million, but we're going to be targeting for that first billion. It makes a lot more sense.
Look, this is something that we believe when it's in the marketplace, it's something that can help everybody. This is open to all participants, regardless of where they are in their life.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, feels like great angel work. Thank you so very much, Jeff and Mindy.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. Thank you
God
for
bless.
having us.
Thank you.
All right. Cool.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thanks, Hilton.
who knew it could be so not so bad?